Welcome back to ARMEDFORAGER. Today we're going to check out this Advantage Arms 22lr caliber conversion kit for Glock pistols. So it's pretty convenient. It comes in this bag, so that's pretty cool. They give you like a range bag. That's pretty cool. It comes with some literature. This one tells you the recommended ammo, so it's a CCI mini mag, 40 grain. They want you to use round nose, not hollow point. It says it specifically. Then you can use CCI AR Tactical and CCI Blazers. It's got a little note here. It says the Remington golden bullets work quite well. However, you will get more light strikes and inconsistent loads than with the other recommended ammo. Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm Steve, by the way.
Yeah, Daniel.
Nice to meet you. Have you got a members thingy somewhere?
Oh, right here, yes.
Okay.
I was told I could hang it up on this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, the other thing on this info card, it says, do not use Stinger or any other hyper velocity ammo. Do not use Remington Thunderbolts. Okay, we just so happen to have some Thunderbolts right here. Doesn't give you a reason why. I assume it's higher velocity. It's gonna cause maybe greater pressure in the chamber and maybe cause damage to the slide. I was gonna try out Thunderbolts, Winchester, Federal, and Aguila, and give it kind of the overall function test and give it a shot. We've had issues in the past, even with rifles and conversion kits, and made for 22lr rifles. We've had issues with the Winchester, we've had issues with the Aguila, we've had issues with the Federal. Not so much the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts actually rocket for the cheaper ammunition. So that's kind of disheartening. That says specifically not to use these. So yeah, I'm not gonna test it. I'm not gonna test fade on that one. I don't wanna ruin the slide, so we won't be doing that. But what we will be doing is I have some OEM CCI. So that we will be testing out. And then of course I have the mini mags here. That's the recommended one. Gives you a pretty cool diagram for shooting experience and where to place your oil. And it says oil, but I got this lube here, Riptide Advanced CLP. This is the one to go with. Not sponsored by them or anything like that. I just really appreciate Riptide, veteran founded company, and this stuff just works the best in my opinion. So they actually give on this other side here a general rule as recommended round, and they say 40 grain bullet going between 1200 feet per second and 1300 feet per second. So there you go. The only other one that checks that box is this Federal, but this Federal is just horrible ammunition. This Federal auto match, it's got a muzzle velocity of 1200 feet per second. So maybe we will try this. We'll try this. It's not going to do very well. I would be shocked if this did very well. All right, scratch all of that. I'm getting mixed signals here. I didn't read the entire thing all the way down. The info card was misleading. It says, there are other recommended ammos, and as a general rule, recommended if it's hollow point, 36 grain bullet going between 1200 and 1300 feet per second. So we're gonna use all of this. We're gonna do a function test with all of it. And again, with those mixed signals, it's a strange affliction here because it says Thunderbolts are not recommended because you wanna use higher velocity. Thunderbolts are a 40 grain bullet going at 1255 feet per second. So it's right within the recommendation. So I'm just gonna use those two. So there's the literature. You get two 15 round magazines with this. If you get the, I guess more expensive one, the advanced one with the threaded barrel, I highly recommend do that if you're gonna spend the money on it. This is the newer kind of updated version for the Gen 5 Glock frames. So what we will do, we'll use this Glock 49. We'll take off the slide, and this has the exact frame as the Glock 19 Gen 5. The 49 is just a longer slide. So it's a Glock 19 long slide basically. And this one's pretty nice because with the threaded barrel, you get the same length. So pretty cool. We'll plop that one on. Bingo bango, goes right on. And looks really nice with that Gen 5 frame. One other thing to mention is I got a 25 round mag. This is for the Glock 44. So that's Glock's version of a 22lr pistol. So I'm going to see how well this does and the functionality of it. This is by ProMag, but it's for the Model 44. So we'll see if those mags work. What we will do initially for the function test with all 3 magazines, we're just going to use the CCI Mini Mag. And since that is the top of the line, top quality ammunition that they recommend, we'll do that. And if it has any malfunctions, then we'll know that it's primarily the slide and not anything else. Also, you see the shirt Mission First Tactical. They send out great gear like this. You know, you get fantastic stuff from them. Accessories. I got this dump tray. They sent me out a staff shirt, which I thought was pretty cool a while back. I just wanted to mention them in the video because they've been very kind and awesome toward this channel. So thanks again, Mission First. And go check out their stuff. They've got great stuff. Yeah, nice and lubed up. Really lubed up. Cool. I guess some specs and features. So it does have the MOS. You get that kind of polymer plate on top. It's got those same standard Glock sights. I did do a video on this, kind of an unboxing video where, you know, you put it together, check it out type of thing. So go check that one out. But the functionality is exactly the same as like a 9mm Glock 19. It's got the double slide lock, slide release. So if you want to get down like that, you can. Basically all Gen 5 features. It's got the serrations on the front if you like to press check, or if that's how you charge your firearm. So all the same stuff. All right, I got a steel target down range. We're gonna give it a fresh coat of some paint, and we'll load up these 2 15 rounds and the 25 round with the CCI Mini Mag. Let's go. Dump tray is so nice. They do give you this ammunition loader assist, so that's pretty cool too. That can be very helpful with the 22lr. Just get it in there. These edges are pretty sharp, actually. So if you're using your fingers, yeah, you could possibly hurt yourself. It works though. And the 25 rounder has kind of that finger assist. So you can just pull the spring down on the sides there. Actually, looks like you could put a 26th round in there, but I'm not going to try that. With all the spring tension and this stack and a half kind of design there, I'm not sure if this is going to function well. If it does, I'll be surprised, to be honest with you. I'm hoping for the best. I haven't had a ton of issues with Pro Mags, but sometimes I do. And this is the first go at it, so we'll kind of experience this together. Let's go. We usually do function tests first. So since we got a fresh coat of paint on there, we'll do an accuracy test. We're about 50-ish feet away from the target. We'll use the mags that came with it, and we'll see how many shots out of 15 we can hit from about 50 feet away. Okay, it's shooting a little left, not low and left, but kind of high and left. And so I guess I'll have to adjust for that. The sights probably are just a little off. Let's try another 15 rounds. Hey, function test though, check that out. Held open, that was beautiful. Cool, another 15 rounds. All rounds hit when I aimed, when I pushed the sights over to the right. So definitely, I'm actually going to change out these sights because I don't necessarily love Glock sights, if I can put it lightly. I did get some sights from HiViz, so shout out to HiViz. It's got that circle and it turns green when the two sights are lined up. You check that video out. It's going to be a pretty cool one. That one's coming up. Glock sights are accurate if you know what you're doing with them, but they're not my favorite. But this seems to be pretty consistently accurate when aiming from 50 feet away, so that's pretty cool. And as far as function, this worked very well. Let's try the 25 rounder. Here we go, Pro Mag for the Glock 44. Okay, probably a light primer strike. Oh, interesting. It just didn't chamber around. So that's something. I assumed we'd have some issues with this mag. Let's try it again. Nope, caught the top of it. One more time. That may have chambered it. Let's check it out. Nope, scraped the top of it. Okay. So far, it doesn't look like it's catching the back of the round. It's just scraping across the top. Okay. And when you try to manually feed it in there, it just doesn't have enough to get right into the feed ramp there. So I'm assuming this ain't gonna work. Nope. Okay, well there you go, firsthand. If you were wondering if the Glock 44 mags work in the Advantage arms, it does not. So check that off your list, don't buy these. Loaded it up with some more, and let's try one-handed. Okay, very cool. Yeah, the awesome thing about 22lr, besides like training purposes, is that it doesn't have a lot of recoil or kick to it. This did very well. I was trying to, I don't know, kind of limp wrist, I guess. I wasn't holding it in as tight as I usually do, because I wanted to see if the slide would reciprocate back far enough to chamber the other round, or I wanted to see if there would be any malfunctions, and no, it was fine. It worked really good. Let's get a little closer. I got, I don't know, around 10 rounds in this other mag, and we'll just mag dump on it from a little closer. I don't think I'll have to necessarily adjust my aim as much as I did from before. We're about, I don't know, 25 feet away ish. All 10 rounds hit, no biggie, no problem. Man, that chambered all the rounds too. I'm pretty excited about this. This was a good purchase. Definitely so far, recommend. Let's try that other ammunition, and we'll go back again about 50 feet-ish. We'll see if there's any discrepancies, as far as accuracy goes from the different ammunition, and we'll see if it cycles. At this point, I'm actually kind of hopeful, but I know that some of that ammunition is just really terrible for semi-automatic firearms. Let's try this OEM. It's also 40 grain. It's got that lead round nose. And it doesn't say immediately how fast it's traveling, and I'm not gonna look for it. I'm not gonna try to be perfectly accurate over here. I'm gonna try to fire a little quickly because I'd really like to do more of a function test than an accuracy test on these. I'll try to be as accurate as possible, just to get that end of it as well. 15 rounds. Okay, it seemed to really like the OEM CCI. But again, it's CCI and it's 40 grain, so that's what they recommend. All right, we'll go kind of down the line of what I know to work and be pretty reliable. And so the OEM was kind of second class to the mini mags. I don't have any of the AR type today, but that has always done great in the past. And also the higher velocity stingers, those usually did great in the past too. We'll try this Thunderbolt, the ones that they say not to use. It's interesting because both on the info card and that other bigger sheet. It says not to use the Thunderbolt, but it's right in the recommended specs. So this is 40 grain traveling at 1,255 feet per second. It's also a lead nose. Let's try 15 rounds of this. Okay, 15 rounds of this Thunderbolt. Hopefully nothing wild or weird happens. They said not to, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's within the specs. It should work. I actually have really high hopes for this. I don't think anything bad is gonna happen. By now though, if you're gonna purchase the Advantage Arms slide for your Glock, think on it. If you use those rounds, you're gonna have a good experience. But let's check this out. Okay. Something weird did happen. Got some blowback on that that was kind of weird. Not gonna use the Thunderbolts in this anymore. Okay, lesson learned. Next, we'll move on to the other recommended. So 36 grain, 1,280 feet per second. This is the Winchester. And don't worry, on that last bout, it wasn't anything catastrophic. I did notice that the backplate moved a little bit, and I don't know if you noticed in the video, but there was some like smoke, I guess, you know, like some burnt powder blowback. Good thing I had glasses on, but it wasn't anything like super dangerous or anything, so don't worry. But they don't give you a reason why not to use the Thunderbolt. I would give you a reason right now. Don't do that because you may get some blowback in your face. And it's probably not good for the slide, which is weird because it's perfectly within the recommended specs. So I don't know. Let's check it out though. This is the Winchester. Well, that's cool. So it ate up all 15 rounds. That's good news because these things are pretty cheap. They're not super cheap, but they're cheaper than the CCI mini mags, I'll tell you that. And you can get a brick, 555 of them for a reasonable price. So hey, and they're hollow points, jacketed. So that's pretty cool. Right on. Next up, we'll try this Federal Auto Match. So one of the things says not to use the Federal. The other one says it's fine within the specs. So this is probably the cheapest 22lr that you can get. So this is 40 grain and it's got a muzzle velocity of 1,200 feet per second. So we'll see. I suspect this will give all kinds of jams and problems, but the Aguila was always worse than this in the past. So this is next up. 15 rounds of that Federal Auto Match. Here we go. Yo, what's up? So 15 rounds, ate it all, slide locked open. I'm dumbfounded. So I'm very impressed with this. That's pretty cool because that is some cheap ammo, cheap ammo. If you want to go to the range and have a good time, Federal Auto Match with Advantage Arms slide. That's cool. Next up, so this is really cheap stuff too. Very comparable in price to the Federal Auto Match. This is a copper-plated hollow point. It's 38 grain and it's traveling at 1,280 feet per second. Okay, and so far everything has seemed to be pretty accurate based on, you know, realigning the sights and all of that from 50 feet away. So it's not like it doesn't have a huge diameter flying all around different spots. It's pretty accurate based on what we're working with. So I'm pretty impressed with that as well. One thing I guess I'm not impressed with is that it just doesn't take Thunderbolts because I use the Thunderbolts in just about everything else because they're comparable to the OEM CCI in a lot of ways. And so I don't know if it just has more chamber pressure or what the deal is, more powder, I have no idea. But I won't be using that with my pistol, I'll tell you that. So here we go, Aguila. So if this works, I'm, you know, I'm sold. Here we go. Okay, I'm sold out for this Advantage Arms slide. Gen 5, this thing rocks it. Took all the Aguila. Man, that's that jacketed hollow point. Very, very cheap for that Aguila. You're not gonna break the bank with it. I'm excited about this. I guess the only two critiques would be the Thunderbolts and that the Glock 44 mags don't work with it. But I'm telling you, if you on the cheap want to train with your pistol, this is the way to go. Advantage Arms.